Okay, namaste everyone. So the problem is now I cannot see myself. So let me go to gallery. Yes, that's fine.
या तो गैलरी पे चले जाइए या
Yeah, I went to gallery and that's okay.
Okay, fine.
So today we are extending our coverage on Yoga Nidra. Basically force your cells to take to distress and detox, because distress cannot happen if detox doesn't happen. So basically on purpose you are governing your body or endocrine gland to take rest. And that's the biggest cause for many problems. Because if you don't have that, then you won't have a sound sleep. Unless you distress your cells, each cells, then you won't have a good sleep. And if you won't have a good sleep, then the magic begins of all the problems. So the two things are very important in your life. Your metabolic, how is your metabolism? And second, what kind of rest you take. And the other third component, which is very important, you have a monkey on here. So this monkey behaves very differently. And this monkey controls a lot of things in your life. Now, unless you have to decide who is the master. Whether your monkey means your mana is your master or you are the master. Who is the master? Most of the time, monkey becomes master. Means your mana become the master of yourself and you follow it. And it brings a lot of complications in your life. Because what happens, you don't see yourself. You see yourself from your personality becomes Bahirgaman. Bahirgaman means, excuse me, you see yourself from everybody else, not from yourself. You know, most of the time, I give you an example. Many people come to me and many people tell us about other people that they go over the board always to do something. Means they don't listen to their mana. And many times people think that they're very nice people, they are very good people. The question is not that. Question is that a person is trying to evaluate himself or herself from that person's perspective. कि वो क्या सोचेंगे? That's a big problem. मेरा मन क्या सोचेगा? मैं क्या हूं? मेरा चैतन्य क्या है? इससे हमें कोई मतलब नहीं रहता. Or once you address that issue, then the first issue I mentioned will already be resolved. then you don't need to impose yourself for a nice or bad or something person. Because जो आपका चैतन्य है वो पवित्र है, वो ऐसे ही nicest है. और if I say in a true word, ये ब्रह्म है, deity है, आप ईश्वर के अंश हो. और deity में ये क्षमता है, ये कैपेबिलिटी है कि वो ब्रह्म की यात्रा कर सकता है, देवत्व की प्राप्ति कर सकता है. डेइटी में ये भी क्षमता है कि वो दानवीय प्रकृति की तरफ भी जा सकता है. Because you have been given that capability. So you always think that you are always very fortunate. Being given a human body is being most chosen person. That's why you have this human body. Because this is a mean. This body is a mean for attainment. You can do anything. Anything. And health is very, very little, a fraction. एक छोटी सी मात्रा है उसकी. So always think like there are two things I always say. You can conceptualize anything with pride, or you can conceptualize anything with ahankar, ego. गर्व एंड अहंकार एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू, बड़ा क्लोज है. इट्स वेरी 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 very fractional difference, very little difference. So, and then normally ego comes from ajnana, stupidity normally, because then the karta thinks that he is the owner of everything. So anyway, this is a long subject. I always start with, as I said 2 sessions ago, I said I will tell a little story so that you could. The story is not for a story here. The story is for a message. The message is how you answer that, how you address your health problem. So the Chaitanya is very, very closely connected to your endocrine gland. So make sure, and Chaitanya you cannot see from outside. You have to visit inside. There is no other way. And the other thing is someone else can visit too. But you are the best person to visit yourself because you know yourself most. A guru, a true guru can always visit you, your anta. The problem is how to find a true guru. If a guru cannot visit his antarman, how could he visit your antarman? And most of the time, we are responsible for that. Because we have this attitude of finding a commander in my life who can resolve my problems. जो मेरी झंझटों से मुझे मुक्ति दे दे. Most of the time, in that segment, a guru comes. So make sure you have at least capability of evaluation of a guru. If you don't evaluate, आप further अंधकार में जाओगे. So चैतन्य को जगाने का, अपने अंतर मन में झांकने का, to know yourself best is one tool is called Yoga Nidra. So on purpose, how to awaken your body cells so that it could heal you. Healing happens itself. Once you detox your body, Once you de-stress your body, healing comes by default. Or many times, whatever you do becomes a mantra. If you say it daily, आप एक मंत्र जपोगे कि मैं ठीक नहीं हूं, मैं ठीक नहीं हूं, मैं बहुत बीमार हूं, मेरे को ये सारी समस्याएं हैं, मैं बहुत सारी I attend a lot of parties and most of the parties discuss their problems and most of the time a health problem. It's also part of your sadness from inside. So if you do that practice on a regular basis, I have been related to medical research, clinical trials for most part of my life. And you know, many clinical trials, when they make two controlled or uncontrolled randomized trials, one group they give placebo. Placebo is nothing, just a simple powder, but it looks like true medication. And the other group they give the real medication, real drug. The success rate in both categories are very close. Very close. Many times there is no significant difference because those who are taking placebo, they also think that, oh, I'm taking the drug. Mm-hmm. So again, your monkey behaved differently. And when you think you are taking a drug, the other thinking comes, I am getting better. Dawa apna kaam kar rahi hai. I'm getting better. I'm not saying dawa is not beneficial. But this is another aspect as well. So Chaitanya ko jagane ka, I tell you one thing. There was a Buddha bhikshu in Japan. It's a story of Lord Ashoka, Samrat Ashoka. And one day he announced that he will teach people how to climb a tree. People were surprised कि ये yoga guru and a Buddha bhikshu and a yogi, how he's going to teach how to climb a tree. So of course the prince of the Japan came to learn. He said, you know, he's a big guru, and so I just need to know. At least give me closeness to himself. So he came to know I need to learn how to climb a tree. So Buddha bhikshu has this going on. He was sitting underneath a big tree. He said, go ahead, and I will guide you as you go up. So राजकुमार पेड़ पे चढ़ने लगा और सोचा कि, और जैसे ही वो थोड़ा ऊपर गया 15 फीट से ऊपर, तो बौद्ध भिक्षु ध्यान मुद्रा में बैठ के जाप करने लगा, closing his eyes, doing nothing. Now Prince was thinking, now he's scared. He's about 25 feet. He has to go about 100 feet. He's very scared how to go up. And when he sees downstairs, he's more scared because it's difficult to come down now. And this yogi is saying nothing. He is doing japa. So he keep going up. And every time very scared, keep going up. He went to the top and the yogi said nothing. And now after top, he has no choice. He has to come back because he was more scared. So what he did not look downstairs. Looking up, he keeps coming down. And the Buddha bhikshu said nothing. He was very scared. What kind of tree climbing teaching is this? This guy is saying nothing. So when he was about 10-15 feet, he was very close to the ground. the Bodh Bhikshu opened his eyes and he said, be very careful. And he came down, he was mad. He said, that's the way you teach tree climbing, be very careful. And then the Bodh Bhikshu said, the power, the Shakti is inside you. I did not climb the tree, you climbed the tree. But the moment you went 15-20 feet above, तुम्हारा चैतन्य जागृत हो गया. You were self-conscious. Since you were self-conscious, you don't need anybody else. You are very careful yourself. You don't need a yogi, a Bodh Bhikshu for that. But most of the time, people have an accident when they are very close to their ambition, when they are very close to the finish line. So that's why when you were 15 feet, I said, be careful. So the story, the purpose is basically your self-conscious, your Chaitanya has all the capability to take care of itself. You just need someone to tell you, hey, be careful. You can do it. So that's very important. So the Yoga Nidra, as I suggested, you have to relax yourselves. Now, how to relax yourselves? First of all, as I suggested many times, when you lie down on your back, your spine is aligned. They are not exactly in one line, but better than other poses. So two organs are very important. One is your spine and one is I'm missing sciatica nerve. So one is sciatica nerve. So two are very important. So what happens when they are aligned, and the nerve I spoke to sciatica, it goes from two of your toes all the way to the top of your spine, very close to your root. It is so important nerve that it has protection of your spine. So one day probably I will take up sciatica nerve, sciatica pain problem as well. But sciatica is one of the thickest nerve in your system. So that's how you could understand how important it is. So any flow, there are one thing, endocrine gland, and there is a physical flow. The energy flows through sciatica nerve many times. They also take help of endocrine gland. So what happens when they sink? When you lie down on your back, and most of the time, if they are not aligned, you will feel pain. If you lie down on your back on a floor, not on the mattress, because what happens when you lie down on a mattress, it adjusts with the curve, so you won't feel that pain. That's also a problem of, that's also a beginning of many problems. So that's why one of the things I always suggested, that at least once or twice a week, lie down on your back without pillow or anything for at least half an hour. You can listen to good music. You can try many things. That's the beginning of learning yoga nidra. Relaxes yourself, light up. Because the moment your spine is aligned or in one line, oxygenation happens at max. So your cells get maximum oxygenation. Now, the process starts with this. Make sure you do normal breathing. Normal breathing means, many people don't understand normal breathing. Normal breathing means neither you do not try to control it. Neither you try to make it slow, nor you try to make it fast. So you're normal as usual, the breathing. The the same thing goes to your mana. When you lie down, you do not try to do anything. That's, I always suggest, that's a big problem in human health and human awakening. Because you cannot enforce, you cannot be at the stage of self-restraint, senses withdrawal from subject, until unless you cross the enforcement stage, control stage. Control doesn't work. Control is a temporary phase. When you control something, either you control for somebody, somebody close to you, because you just want to please him or her, or you control because you have social pressure, or you control because you are on a certain position. That's why you control, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. So that's how you do the control. It doesn't come from antarman. So I give you an example how the antarman behaves when you go to the self-restraint level, where senses already withdraw from subject. At this stage, you become your master. Now, if you decide not to consume sweet because it has some effect on you, then you won't like sweet. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि रात में चुपके से निकल के हम फ्रिज निकाल के स्वीट खा के फिर सो जा रहे हैं जब सब सो रहे हैं। तो ऐसा मैंने कई लोगों को सुना है और एक आध को देखा भी है अपने फैमिली में, और अपने दोस्तों को भी देखा कि पत्नी का दबाव है इसलिए सिगरेट नहीं पीते हैं, तो जब रात में धीरे से गैराज में घुस के पी लेते हैं या पति का दबाव है तो पत्नी का कुछ जो भी। सो ये कंट्रोल है। ये कंट्रोल आप लोगों को दिखावे के लिए करते, जस्ट फॉर अदर्स, टू प्लीज अदर्स, बट दिस कंट्रोल डजंट वर्क व्हेन यू आर सेल्फ. This has no effect. So as I suggested, self-restraint, the first step towards health, awakening, and joy. Self-restraint, what is called a yam. Then you have certain rules, niyam. Then you go to asana, postures. Then you go to pranayama. Now don't misunderstood. Asana means a lot of exercise. Many people confuse this. And whenever I mention this, they say, मैं तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बहुत कठिन है posture का. हमने कहा, but I did not ask you to do anything. So if you lie down on your back, it's also a posture. So there are two kinds of people. One say we cannot do much. There is other way. There are other kind of people as well. They say, I don't sweat when I do a lot of postures. It means I do not burn a lot. I say, who told you when you sweat, you burn a lot? When you relax your body cells, you burn the most. So whenever you, because how you burn, because you are forcing oxygen to go visit those cells. So that's how you burn a lot. So जो प्राण वायु है, the oxygen does the most burning in your system. Yes, of course, when you sweat a lot, you also burn. But to burn a lot of calories, you have to sweat a lot. And that's why there is always a struggle. Many people ask me that I eat everything. I mean, except I mean, I'm vegetarian. But this also, there is also a question comes to me that should I not eat non-vegetarian? So from yoga perspective, there is no nishad. The only thing is, there are some complex food, there are some simple food. If you take simple food, awakening is quick, easy. If you take complex food, awakening would be time consuming. So choice is yours. The same concept goes, if you consume a lot, you have to burn a lot. So there are two ways how you can control the weight. Many people comes to me. There are two ways. Either you burn a lot, which is almost impossible task. Because what happens, your life is miserable every day. Because you have to burn a lot and you don't have to consume a lot. That's other problem. People are eating sweets and you are sitting there and you are controlling yourself. People are eating samosa, paratha, whatever, and then you have a control. Now what this control does most of the time, that's why they introduce a cheat day where you can eat everything. Because it's very difficult. It doesn't become self-restraint. It doesn't become your lifestyle. Once it is not a lifestyle, you will always be craving. And when this barrier goes of control, basically aap khane pe toot padte. So that's a problem. So make sure you bring your mana to self-restraint level, where you can withdraw your senses as you wish. This is the first step towards health. There are some easy routes as well. So yam means you have a lot of swadhyaya. You have a lot of studies. Why studies are necessary? There are two ways. Either you awaken yourself or you find a right person who awakens yourself. Either you correct or fix your health problem yourself, or you find somebody who could help you do that. The only thing is, the person you are choosing should know it. Should be a true guru. So now the awakening process, let's come back to that. So what happens? You force your system to have more oxygenation. The moment more oxygenation happens in your system, you shed off more toxins. More toxins goes away. And once the toxins goes away, more oxygen comes to the system. Your cell जो है वो फूल की तरह खिल जाता है, accept करने लगता है. And that's when you feel, actually when the same process sometimes happen, either you are in more cold or in more hot situation, but partial level, not to that level. So as I suggested, lie down on your back. Don't use any pillow or anything. Straighten your leg. Both hands on your side with palms facing up on your side. Comfortable distance. I will also show you how to do it. But first you understand the concept. Many times when I show the postures, many people again call back to me that they didn't get this part, they didn't get this part, they didn't get this part, and there is a lot of questions. That's fine. I never mind it. But then it means the concept should be clear first. So on your back, make sure you use, if you have carpeted floor, that's fine. If you don't have a carpeted floor, make sure you use a little yoga mat or something to have some comfort. Don't lie down on a hardwood floor. You are inviting pain, especially when the endocrine, when the spine is not synced. So then you are inviting that trouble. Now, relaxing your cells has two steps. First of all, you engineer your mana. आप अपने मन को guide करो. And second thing, there is some physical process as well. So your now what happens? The mana part first. But before that, we have to remove the stiffness. That's why most of the time, stiffness doesn't come for physical injury or something as well. If someone tells you something, or if you are affected by the outside environment, that also gives you a lot of stiffness, stress, anxiety. So there are two-pronged approach for that. First of all, how to train your mana, and then there is some physical, very nominal, not too much. So your hands, as I said, on your side, comfortable distance. Many people ask me, should it close to your body or a little further from your body? Whatever you feel comfortable. Now, when you are in this position, when you are in this posture, now what you are the first step, first of all, if spine is not aligned, you will have some uncomfort. You will have some pain or something. So adjust your body part. Means you have to spread your leg a little more, do that. If you have to bring it closer, do that. Same way your hands, your head, whatever. These three things normally you move. Adjust wherever they are at comfort level. Mana, your Atman. Don't think about that at this level. It tries to run, goes to Mexico, let it go. Goes to Cancun, India, whatever. As I said, the monkey keeps running. So let it go. More you try to control it, it will run more. More you think that I don't need to think about monkeys, you will see more monkeys. So don't do anything. This also goes. So I should explain two words, rag and dvesh. Either you love something or you hate something. In both conditions, you are in love. You are attached to something. So same thing happens with mana. So when you love somebody or something, it could be a material, it could be an item, you always think about that. But when you hate something, you also always think about that. So in both ways, you are not nirapeksh. Nirapeksh bhav. That's why people need to be noticed always. And there is a lot of thing about women. People say that their sari or jewelry or whatever, they always need to be noticed. That's why it has to be different. अभी कल की पार्टी में जो पहना वो आज कैसे पहन ले, क्योंकि लोगों ने तो नोटिस किया, या पिछले साल होली की पार्टी में जो पहना था और इस साल होली में डिफरेंट होना चाहिए. It is not only women thing, it's for men too. The only thing is many times they are not expressive. They may not be, it may not be clothes for them, but it's something else for them. But every mana wants a distinction. Distinction means there is a rag, attachment to something. Dvesh has also attachment to something. And I said many things about this. Many people come to me and I want to forget somebody. I said, don't try to forget somebody. If you try to forget somebody, you probably missing the person more, because you're forcing yourself. Again, you have to go to self-restraint level, senses withdrawal from subject. So राग और द्वेष से ये मुक्त होना चाहिए मन. योग निद्रा का पहला रूल है. Once you lie down on your back, rag and dvesh. Rag dvesh means this word you may be listening many times. बहुत सारे बाबा लोगों को, गुरु लोगों को मैंने सुना है, राग द्वेष नहीं होना चाहिए, उसका मतलब नहीं बताते हैं क्या होना चाहिए. ऐसे है जैसे मैंने हमेशा कहा है कि if you go to somebody who has fever, किसी को कोरोना हो गया है, आप उसके पास जाते हो, कहते हो अरे तू कोरोना छोड़ क्यों नहीं देता. वो कोरोना छोड़ना चाहता है, कोरोना नहीं उसको छोड़ रहा है. So you want to leave something, but that person is not leaving you. Same thing goes with rag dvesh. So जो मन है, rag dvesh mukt means you do not pay any attention. You completely ignore it. And you have this vow, go to hell, whatever you want to do, do. I don't care absolutely. I am not affected by this. So nirapeksha bhav. There are two ways, sapeksha bhav and nirapeksha bhav. I deliberately sometimes use Hindi words because there are no better English word for that. Whenever I use English word, I compromise with the ethos of those words. So the sapeksh means attachment, nirpeksh means non-attachment, or dvesh means also attachment. So your mana hai sthiti, let it go. Let it go. Because why I am saying let it go mana? Because it has to come to your cells too at one point during yoga nidra. You let it go. So that bhav has to come too. Now you close your eyes. Again, you adjusted your hands, your legs, or whatever. I give you an example. What raga and dvesh is. You always heard a little line in, especially where puja sthal mein aap sunte hain. Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. If you go to this person and say, give $10 to temple, he always forgets about that word. Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera. So what happens? ये जो ढकोसले हैं, ये पाखंड हैं, हमने खुद क्रिएट किए. हम बोलने के लिए कुछ भी बोल देते, वो परम शक्ति के सामने बोल रहे हैं. बस उसका हमारे एक्शन में there is no meaning of that. That's why the hypocrisy surrounds us all over around. Hypocrisy. So we always know these things are just to say. It has nothing to do with my action. That's also one of the problem. आप राग द्वेष से मुक्त नहीं हो पाते. So again, the process is very simple. Let it go. So now when you lie down on your back and you spread your leg, your hands on your side, palm facing up. Now the stiffness, stretch part comes here. Because when you stretch and release something, stretch, आप कभी इलास्टिक को स्ट्रेच करके जब छोड़ देते हो ना, that's its normal स्थिति. when you leave it, when you let it go, the same thing happens to your stress and anxiety. आपने उसको स्ट्रेच किया हुआ है, उसको दोनों तरफ से पकड़ा हुआ है, तो सेल्स स्टिफ हैं. You never let it go. Why you never let it go? Because one problem comes, then your mana takes another problem. It's ongoing process. So you never have that state of let it go. So that's why many times in yoga, we suggest for Shishu Mudra, how the child sleeps. But anyway, that's also a process, but that's very important process for Yoga Nidra. So now what you do, am I overstepping, Sudesh ji? It's already...
Well, if you need to finish this subject, carry on. Bring it to a completion.
It will take time. So we finished the stiff stage today. So you stretch your one leg at a time. Your heels or your ankles forward as much, because I have to show it to you as well. Today cannot say, because the whole process takes 10-15 minutes at least. You stretch and make sure don't lift too up when you stretch. You lift, stretch and drop. Same thing with the other leg. You stretch with पूरे अंतःकरण से कि जितना भी आप कर सकते हो, whatever you could do, go to your max. More you stretch, you don't have uncomfort. You have little bit of uncomfort, sure, but stretch and then drop. Now this is the let it go process. Same thing, you stretch your hands as much as you could, make sure your fingers are stretched. Many times when you stretch, it becomes red because the blood circulation is more. That's what the purpose is. You stretch and drop. Same thing you do with your head. Move up, your neck stretch as much as you could, and then drop back. Now, again, if you notice that any of the organ, you are not at comfort, adjust it. If you bring your hands closer or further, do it. If you move your hands, ankle, or whatever, your head, do it. Now we are at least in this pose where you have stretched, so half the work or a lot of work is already done. Now the next step comes, the mana, the monkey. How to put leash on this monkey or let it go. Nirpeksha bhav. Nirpeksha bhav means I am not connected at all. Means you do, I'm not connected at all. When you have that bhav, then you came out from raga and dvesh. Ignore it completely. But never think that you are ignoring. The important thing is many times I'm deliberately thinking always, I'm ignoring somebody. Ignore doesn't have this feeling that I'm ignoring somebody. But this bhav would be in next session. I will show you how to do it, how to let it go. But make sure you practice these things at home. That's why we have a week. It's vacation or holiday time. So you have a lot of time, everyone. So try it. Enjoy your meal. Whatever you like, eat it. Never think that I'm gonna eat this is gonna harm me. Always think this ये मुझे ऊर्जावान बनाने वाला है. Always go with this thinking. Floor is open for question.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Sudesh ji, can I ask Dr. Bharti something?
बोले please.
हाँ जी, हरिओम जी. आपने जैसे बोला ना कि लेट के वो स्ट्रेचिंग की एक्सरसाइज वगैरह करो एंड डोंट टेक अ पिलो, राइट? मेरी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, इफ आई टेक द पिलो आउट आई गेट वेरी डिजी.
So जिन लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम है उसमें मैंने as I suggested, it means alignment is an issue. Have I ever seen you, Renuka ji? Because you need to check your solar plexus.
Seen me where, on Zoom or in person?
Oh, in person. I
can't.
So do you know how to check your solar plexus?
No, I don't.
Okay. So ask some. So you align your both hand here.
Anji.
If the top line match the top line, all the line of your palms should be in one line.
वो तो है.
हाँ. So then the spine alignment could be a problem. But if you want to use a very shallow, very small pillow, that's fine.
अच्छा.
थोड़ा पतला सा ले लो. Normally what I do, I give you a better idea, because what happens, most of the pillows are pretty thick.
Yeah.
So what you could do, when you lie down on the yoga mat, roll one side of the yoga mat little bit. So that comes here in the middle of your neck here. So that will resolve your issue. But slowly try to avoid it. But that's an idea I gave you. Roll one side of the yoga mat and then keep going.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Next question from Sneji.
Who?
नमस्कार भारत जी.
हाँ नमस्ते, बोलिए प्लीज.
भाई साहब, कभी नीचे नहीं लेट सकते कारपेट पे ऊपर और या मैट पे? So is there any other alternative?
कारपेट पे क्यों नहीं लेट सकते?
Because of my knees. दोनों की नी रिप्लेसमेंट हुई है, तो नीचे बैठ नहीं सकती मैं.
She's had knee replacements done.
तो
Oh, so you cannot bend your knees. That's what you are saying.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a wood or something at home?
No.
Buy a little bed size wood.
Okay.
Put on wood and put a mat on top of that.
Okay. ठीक है. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Next question from Prabir ji. Go ahead.
जी दादा बोले.
Namaskar, Virendra.
जी बोले please.
I only asked for clarification, Virendra. ये जो शब्द हैं, by the way, ये सभी संस्कृत शब्द हैं. सापेक्ष, निरपेक्ष, यम, नियम, संयम. इनके अंग्रेजी equivalents क्या हैं? Because I don't think the translations are very good.
No, whenever you translate any word into another language, you lose some part, you lose the soul of it. Because the words come from the culture.
Exactly.
I said, the word comes from the culture. You can find something closer, like yam means self-restraint. Niyam means
संयम.
That's what I'm saying. You find
Exactly.
closer.
Yeah.
So you always lose certain meaning, and that's why I use these words. Because there is also one thing. Nowadays, if you write these words in the search part, you find it.
अच्छा, Google में मिलेगा?
Not English.
No.
Yeah. If you write sapeksh, S-A-P-E-K-S-H-A,
yeah.
Explain sapeksh, then it will give you some. Okay. As I always suggested, like Atma is not soul. Because soul is a different. So I don't know whether to recall this. I explained many times. Soul means we talk suksh, minor than, micro than electron, proton, and neutron. So more is smaller than those. So whenever we talk soul in the Western world, as I said many times, 60, 70 years or few years ago, they think women doesn't have soul. So when the soul from Vedanta comes, it means कण कण में भगवान है, मतलब ब्रह्म है, और वो आप में भी है.
बिल्कुल.
So that's where the feeling comes. That's where the word comes. अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. लेकिन उसको गर्व से देखो, उसको ईगो से नहीं देखना. ये दृष्टि बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि as I said, अहंकार अज्ञान से आता.
वीरेंद्र, वो फ्रेज तो है सोहम ब्रह्मोहम.
Yeah, that's अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. But मैंने कहा ना, उसमें दृष्टि, your vision is very important. How you take it. And you know, there is still this belief that because there's a lot of social pressure, a lot of women liberation or something, so now they are forced to accept that women might have soul, but the other animals doesn't have soul. No. It is still there that other animals doesn't. I'm not saying they are right or wrong. I'm saying that's what the perception comes. That's
the
why
cultural belief is different.
Exactly. That it comes from 5,000-10,000 years of culture. I'm not saying India may not be at this stage or that part, Sindhu, was not at this stage long ago. Maybe 12,000-15,000 years ago, 20,000, who knows? They were at the same stage. But they evolved. Culture evolution takes time. This culture is very new. That's why it has a lot of good things, but also it doesn't have enough time for ripen itself. It needs time.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes. Next question from Usha ji.
बोले.
हरिओम भारती जी. ये हरिओम. आपने आज बहुत अच्छी नॉलेज दी है. वेरी यूजफुल नॉलेज. नींद तो बिल्कुल आती नहीं है आजकल. जैसे जैसे उम्र बढ़ रही है नींद कम होती जा रही है. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो आपने बोला कि आपको नीचे लेट के ट्वाइस ए वीक और 3 times a week, तो ये किस टाइम करनी चाहिए?
Any time is good as long as your tummy is empty. That's why your tummy is most empty during morning time, but you can do in the evening too.
सोने से पहले कर सकते हैं.
सोने से पहले तो आप खा लेते हो ना, तो फिर उसमें पेट काफी भरा होगा.
नहीं, तो जैसे आप 6 बजे खा लेते हो और आप 9-10 बजे सोते हो, तो then it's okay.
You can try it that time. But सोने से पहले बाहर करने की जरूरत नहीं है. I normally do not recommend this process in the bed. लेकिन जिनको नींद नहीं आती है, they can cell relaxation they can do in the bed, and I will explain how to do it. So
no, I will do it on the floor, not in the bed. You can do it on the floor.
The best part is do on the floor, because then your spine alignment will be there.
Yes,
yeah. In your bed there is no alignment.
No, won't be on the bed. नीचे ही मतलब पर like कर लो, शाम को कर लो किसी, but it should be empty stomach.
Yes, that's
light stomach you mean?
Yeah, because there is no, I did not say light stomach, I say empty stomach.
बिल्कुल empty, okay.
Empty होना चाहिए, उसमें 3 to 4 hours लगते हैं.
वो तो फिर सुबह ही होगा.
तो आप रात में भी कर सकते हो. I mean, it's not gonna harm you. The problem is there is a metabolic process is on already inside. तो cells जो हैं आपके busy हैं कहीं. Always there is something going on in the system.
Right.
But जितना कम हो, जितना न्यून हो, निम्न हो, जितना कम हो, that's better. If there is a lot of thing going on inside, अब कोई आप कहोगे कोई दौड़ रहा है, ध्यान कर ले, कैसे करेगा? दौड़ रहा है. Yeah, same thing going something inside. So also there is a lot of bile juices and all those. So when they, that's why empty stomach, give it 3 to 4 hours, and then you can do better, because then your antarman is a little bit calm.
So week में like twice or 3 times is okay.
As many times as you like.
7 days a week ही कर सकते हैं.
Because ये एक तरह का many people ask me it's difficult, but I also know many people जिनको इसकी एक तरह के लत लग गई है. So some people is still calling me from all over the world that this is a magic.
Okay, try करेंगे. फिर आपको बताएंगे कि नींद आई कि नहीं आई.
और सारे फैक्टर भी हैं. मनः का कामनेस बहुत जरूरी है. But it will certainly help. It will improve, and at the moment you become master of yourself, it will be fully gone, your problems.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bharti, no more questions.
भारती जी कितनी देर करना चाहिए?
Where we are.
इसकी पूरी प्रोसेस करीब 20 मिनट की होती है.
और तब सपोज नींद आ जाए तो?
That's why this is called cautious sleep. इसमें नींद आ जाए तो बुरी बात नहीं है.
अच्छा.
लेकिन आप अवेकन नहीं रहोगे, जागृत नहीं रहोगे, तो सेल्स को कैसे जागृत करोगे? बट अगर नींद आ जाती है और नींद की ही प्रॉब्लम है तो अच्छी बात है.
सवाल पूछो तो नहीं. मैं जब नेक में होता है ना तो ऐसे टॉवेल का रोल करके नेक के अंदर ऐसे रख देती हूँ ऐसे.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
टॉवेल और वो कार
Yeah.
जो योगा मैट है उसको आप थोड़ा सा रोल कर लो. What happens between your head and shoulder, this neck part is like this. So when you put on the floor here, there is a gap here.
Big gap.
Yeah. So what happens when the alignment is not there, it hurts.
Right.
Because how do you sleep? You don't sleep this way. You sleep this way.
Mm-hmm.
If this is your head, so your body is like this. So your spines are curved like this. Now, when I ask you to lie down on your back on the floor, it's now becomes like this.
There's a lot of gap.
So I mean, ये सालों का रोग है सोने का, उस बिस्तर पे या उस मैट्रेस पे. तो इसको थोड़ा सा समय तो दीजिए. 6-8 घंटे तो आप वहां हो. मैं तो 20 मिनट ही मांग रहा हूँ, और आपके लिए मांग रहा हूँ, अपने लिए नहीं मांग रहा हूँ.
लेकिन भारती जी, गैप कम हो जाता है कभी आप विदाउट पिलो सोए तो बेड में?
इतना नहीं होता है, क्योंकि वो तो एडजस्ट करता है ना मैट्रेस.
अच्छा.
क्योंकि कुशन है ना. So that's why. But you know, if you do yoga nidra, आप कैसे भी बिस्तर पे सो, it doesn't affect. If you do some posture, it really doesn't matter. Make sure you align your spine. If your spines are aligned, that's how your body is made. 6 to 10 hours of 6 to 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep. Problem comes when you don't stretch it after sleeping. The problem is there. Problem is not that you eat this and that. The problem is you don't burn it.
Right.
So that's where
if there's any more, okay. If there's any more questions, save them for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we do our prayer.
Sorry, can I ask one quick question?
Yes. Sudesh ji बताएंगे time का, I don't know.
If it's a quick question with a quick answer, sure.
Very quick. Dr. Bharti, I just want to know, earlier you used to take classes in Walter Baker. Abhi uska koi chance hai on a smaller scale?
I can do that, but you know, I don't want to jeopardize people's health or something. So there is a lot of things about COVID and this and that.
That's true.
But we can start on Zoom or something.
Anji, please.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to remember. आप जब बताते हैं तब तो लगता है सब याद है, उसके बाद में फिर भूल जाता है the process of doing the proper exercise, ना?
That's why there is a recording.
I'm sorry?
That's why the recording is there on the ICCC website.
Go and see the recording afterwards.
Acha. I never
And
knew.
they are also, some people are putting it on YouTube too.
Aapki?
Yeah.
Yeah, sessions.
Okay, I'll talk to Sudesh ji. I'll get the details.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
you can revisit and you can see.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We do our prayer.
Anji, please.
May all be happy. May all be disease free. May all see good in others. May none suffer. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve santu naramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kasyid dukh bhag bhave. Om. God bless you all. ईश्वर आप सबको सुख और शांति दे.
Thank you, Dr. Bharti, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody.
Anji.